Hey, Vinyl Community, Jeff here. Just a real quick video to show some stuff that has come in recently. I haven't, some of the stuff I've been kind of accumulating, hadn't been showing as often, so I'm going to get some of those knocked out. Now, I am going to be out of pocket for the whole weekend, church conference, and that's bad enough that I'm going to be attending the church conference. This is the first year our church is having a conference. People from out of town come in, but it's the first year that I'm not actually being one of the speakers. So at least I was not burdened with having to prep for, speaking and writing a message and PowerPoint and all that. And then the pastor called me this morning and said, oh, by the way, one of the speakers is not going to be there due to family illness. And hey, you want to speak? So great. Anyway, I've got to pull together. I'm going to redo a message from way back in the past. So anyway, that's just something thrown on my plate. So what I want to do is go through some of these recent video finds, make a couple of videos at the same time, and then have them scheduled out for the time that I'm going to be out of pocket until I'm back on like Sunday night or Monday. Let's jump right into this. So a couple weeks ago, weeks ago, I showed these Dokken. These are the Church of Vinyl Dokken reissues, Long Way Home and Hell to Pay. So these came in, and I mean, no sooner than pretty much they came in, but the guy who I got them from on Facebook posted this one, Erase the Slate. So I guess he acquired the third one, and I'm like, well, I need that one too. So yeah, this is all in that time period together, fairly close together. And these are all numbered editions from Church of Vinyl. They tend to come, this is a clear, translucent clear. It is number 237 out of 500. See, I wanted to pick these up. I like this era. There is a couple, there's Dysfunctional and there's albums in the earlier days right before this, which have not been released on vinyl. They're probably the ones that, most people look at as being so much less Dokken-ish, definitely more alternative. But when they started circling back around to these three albums and, and further on, they kind of returned to form with more of a sound like that. So anyway, that will be the third one. I think this is the only other one that they've released on Church of Vinyl. So maybe some other ones are coming, but I picked that up. And then while I was at it, I said, well, do you have any other Dokken ones that you are going to sell? Do you have anything else that you haven't posted, And he says, oh, I do have Breaking the Chains. So I don't have this. I always had this back in the day, and I know I keep watching this, but honestly, every time I see this album, it's even the original copies, are more expensive than I want to pay for them. Now, this actually is a 2021 reissue. It's been reissued a handful of times, and this one's on yellow. So it is one of the more modern reissues on Friday Music. They've been doing a lot of good stuff, so I got that, and I said, yeah, that's good. I had my eyes on I guess it was also just reissued in 2022, same thing, Friday Music, I believe, on a different color. This one came out just before that, maybe 2020, I don't know. Anyway, Friday Music keeps reissuing on different colors, so I went ahead and grabbed this. The price was right, and I was going to combine shipping, so I grabbed that. Now, this is one of those guys that I buy from that puts in stiffeners, and I've gotten a couple of great albums that I've shown in the past as stiffeners, and it was no different this time. I'm like, what the heck? Eagles Greatest Hits Volume 2. Now, it's still in the shrink. I mean, it's opened, but it was still in the shrink, and the album was, minty fresh. And I don't have this. And I didn't realize that there were so many great hits on this album, because the other album he included in there was the Eagles' Greatest Hits Volume 1. One was on one side, one was on the other. Now, this one I do have. I had this one since I was a teenager. I found it in on their curb. They thrown out some albums. This and like Billy Joel's 52nd Street and some other albums that I picked up as a teenager in the mid-'80s from somebody's garbage. And I had that copy. And that's one of the only albums, one of the very few albums that survived over the years of my buying and not buying. I had a box that had like about 10 albums in it that were on vinyl that just had been around, and this was one of the ones that survived, whereas all of my other vinyl records were sold off over the years. That existed. And anyway, and it turns out my copy is actually in a little better condition than the one he sent that has some scuffs and stuff. Still good copy. It's just, a little bit a little bit rougher with some scuffs and pops and cracks. So good enough that I could pass this on to somebody, you know, as a good playable copy. So yeah, 2 Dokkens and then 2 Eagle albums right in the back. Now, speaking of Dokken, a second person on Facebook had listed this for a really good price. This is an original copy of the double record live album. And so I thought, you know, I'm in a Dokken mood, and so let's go ahead and add some Dokken, more Dokken. So I grabbed this and another album from him, but I'm not showing at this point. So anyway, this is another one from my Dokken collection, and so it continues to grow, and love it. Love it. Great stuff. That's it, though. Just show that. I'm going to move on to some other things, and I do thank you for watching, and I will be back. Rock on and rock hard.